actually, everybody who's listening to How Is This Fake, welcome back. I'm actually excited for this pay-per-view, which is on my son's birthday, and I am having a birthday party, so I won't even get to watch it, which is a fucking shame.
You gotta find one of those streaming. You just gotta put it on your phone, buddy.
No, I gotta be involved, which is
Lexi and
fine.
I, it's because Lexi's sister's birthday's that weekend too, and I told Lexi, I'm like, we could go out. That's totally fine. Just know that wherever we can go to bar hop and we can do wherever you want to go. I will have your phone so that I could watch Saturday night's main event on Peacock, and I will have
Oh,
my
wow.
phone so I could watch the All In pay-per-view on my phone. So I'll be
See, I
double fisting
totally,
phones at a bar.
I d- well, how you gonna drink? You got a beer drink hat?
I got a straw.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
don't
I'll
straws
just
and
keep the straw in
beers
my
make you
mouth and
drunker?
just what's that?
I said, don't straws and beers make it a little more punchy? Anyways,
Uh,
I've heard
I don't
that. I don't
know.
know if that's bullshit or.
I don't know, but you best believe I'll be drinking a beer out of a straw tonight. I'll test it out.
There you go. Well, dude, to be honest, you mentioned Saturday night's main event. Totally fucking. I didn't forget it was happening, but as soon as
Just
you
because
said
it
it, I was
sucks.
like, oh, yeah, I
It
don't care
sucks. That's
about
why.
that. It's
Nope.
a house show, bro. It's a
Yep.
televised house show.
Yep. You're gonna throw one. You're gonna have Drew McIntyre come back and throw it on us at one night that you're gonna, or I guess yeah. I don't know. Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton new match announced. Not excited for that. They are totally botching this Evolution card on the same weekend.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Ugh.
which is absolutely ridiculous.
You know what I want to see?
Um,
Because I saw it on Instagram, and I think it's the only way to bring Drew back. And I know they already, they got shit going. But if we could roll it back and they didn't announce anything, I want three-man band to get back together because I
yeah,
saw them all at Jinder's wedding in that Indian garb or Punjabi garb or
I
whatever
don't
it's
know what it
called.
is.
But they look sick, and I was like,
Yeah,
get the band back together. But
I
anyway,
don't even
so
know. I don't even think Heath Miller is in TNA right now. Maybe he's hurt. I don't know.
I don't know
Um,
where the other two work. I got to be
dude is
honest.
yeah.
If they
Well,
do,
he was in TNA for a while. I'll tell you what. That guy is one of the funniest people on screen, off screen, interviews, any possible thing. WWE dropped the ball with him.
and he's a friend of the podcast. I don't know if you remember, but in the early days of you and I getting together and
He liked
recording,
he liked
he
our
watched our
post.
story.
Yeah,
Didn't repost, but that's all right. Beggars
yeah.
can't be choosers. But we'll
No.
get there. We'll get there,
Um,
buddy.
what was I gonna say? Oh, this weekend though, I think we should probably start with this because I want the people to be reminded that there's a good possibility that TJ Perkins is going to kick our frenemy uh Enoch the Enlightened in the face
Well, I'm hoping.
because it's Dream Slam weekend.
Yes.
Last episode we talked to Enoch and broke down the whole entire card. It's their 3-year anniversary show. And dude, I'm excited for your story that you're going to be posting of all the cool matches.
If you want some up close and personal footage, you got to follow our account and watch it because
Yep.
Gamecraft is not a big place, and I'm a big guy. I got like a 10-foot wingspan. So, yeah, I'm excited for the third anniversary. I'm excited to share on our story and Instagram all the cool shit. Dude, I'm hoping I can get PJT.
PJT.
TJP. B isn't even in there. I don't know where that came from. Hopefully I can get him to talk to me real quick. Put it on the story.
Yeah, just give him a sticker. He
Yeah,
seems like the kind of guy that likes stickers. You know what I'm
true.
curious about though too, and because I just saw what was it in Chris Van Vliet
Yes.
interviewed Christopher Daniels, and TJ Perkins was the original Suicide in TNA.
Oh, and they were
And they,
talking about the spot in the Ultimate X match.
yeah, I would be curious. Well, one, I'm pretty sure that that had to be him because that was like early TNA.
Yeah.
And I would be curious to know his like reaction and response to that whole situation because I
You
looked
know what,
for it
dude?
and I couldn't find it.
I will, dude. That's why you're a fucking genius. If we get the guy who wasn't Christopher Daniels in that spot to talk about this
Yeah,
right after Christopher Daniels is like, trending a little bit because of this, come on. That's how
we'd
we
be
make more friends of the podcast.
exactly.
Well, yeah, dude, I'm excited for Dream Slam week. But it's a lot of fun. But, dude, I started off the show by saying it. I'm super duper excited for All In. Oh, and just before we talk about All In, I got to bitch one more time about because I said I'm not going to watch Saturday night's main event, and I got the birthday party, so I got to watch All In the next day. I also got to find time to go watch the premiere of Superman. I've been talking about that more than I have AEW, to be
Uh,
honest.
I'm going on Friday night.
Yeah. I asked my dad if he wanted to go because we're setting up the birthday party that day, and then at nighttime I'm like free, but he's got shit to do, and I'm not going
Yeah.
by myself. So
Um. Oh, but going to the movies by yourself, dude, is the most relaxing thing.
I could see it in IMAX and
Yeah,
basically not feel like I spent a shit ton of money. That might be the move,
exactly.
actually. That might be the move. But
Yeah.
let's talk about wrestling, bro.
Well, I mean, what's it called? AEW. Superman was a sponsor of AEW this week.
Yeah, I saw that. Which match was it? I remember I took a picture of it when
There
I was
were there
watching
were
it.
two matches, and then somebody tweeted out like, "Oh, Crypto the Super Dog is here." And I watched the whole clip, and there was no freaking dog there, dude, at all.
I love
Um,
that they're bringing crypto into this movie, though. By the way,
yeah, I'm like, how did I miss the Crypto Dog while watching it? And then I realized that at least in the clip that I saw, Crypto wasn't there. But yeah, I'm excited for this movie. It's gonna be good. It's got one review got leaked, and it wasn't a great review. But also, that guy said Sinners was bad, and Sinners is
that
probably
guy's
the
just
best
a
movie to
hater.
come. Yeah, Sinners probably one of the best movies to come out in a really long time. So,
All right.
but anyway, yeah, this is going to be a good show. That I think we only got. Well, let's see. I think we got like a good chunk of the card already put together.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of just want it. I feel like it's ready to happen.
Yeah,
Like now let's talk about because we didn't talk about what had happened on Dynamite 300, which was right in my backyard. But I didn't go.
Ontario,
Uh,
Canada.
yeah. Hopefully it's part of Canada. Anyways, um, I loved Hangman giving the buckshot lariat to Marina Shafir. Finally. And I feel like that is the crack in the Death Riders.
Yeah.
Now, do you think, am I a dumbass for saying that Willow will probably be involved in this match?
Um,
Because she
no.
wasn't on Dynamite. So that's why I'm just like, did I miss something? Am I out of the loop?
The more and more I think about it, no, I don't think you're out of the loop. I think that maybe I don't know. I'm worried that Willow might be out of the rotation. This would be my only
Ah,
worry. But the more and more I think about this match, now keep in mind, Hangman is probably like if I had a like Hangman and MJF are probably my two favorite wrestlers in AEW outside of Edge. I have been a Hangman fan since day one. Way back when he was wrestling New Japan, Ring of Honor, all that stuff. I was always have been a Hangman Adam Page fan. I thought he was one of the most entertaining people in the elite. Um, in everything that all those being the elite videos that the Bucks made and everything like that. I have always liked Hangman Page. Plus, the dude was a high school teacher. which I used to be a teacher, so it's all that respect there. Um, I the more and more I think about it, the more and more I don't want Hangman to win.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, you've been saying you think it needs to be Danielson.
it needs to either be Danielson or Darby. And now you're this is gonna make you water at the mouth a little bit. You ready for this?
Yeah.
What if it comes down the line, like Darby Allin comes back, right? And we set up the match for All Out, Darby and Moxley. And then all these interferences keep taking place, and it's like a Avengers versus villains style thing that take place at All Out.
Right.
And all these people start to come out. The good guys are getting beat up so bad,
I know
so
where you're going.
unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
Then the Stinger comes out as
Yeah.
just to come and help,
Yep.
and then even that isn't enough for the bad guys. Bryan Danielson makes his return just to help Darby Allin win. They all cheer in the ring. Darby Allin gets put on the shoulders, yada yada yada. And then we set up Danielson's real last match coming up against I don't know, somebody else that's not John Moxley. And he gets to walk away with his flowers.
Hmm. It's not bad. It's not bad. What if I Uno reversed you and said Darby comes back at All In, but he turns heel and joins the Death Riders?
Only if that means Sting is gonna come back, but wear the red face paint.
Um, okay. I mean, we got, oh, I don't have the picture with him in the red face paint, but this man right here. I would be okay with Darby, Sting coming to help Darby at All In, or maybe All Out, and Darby kicking Sting in the nuts. But anyone who's listened to the show long enough knows
Yeah.
that the extent of my fantasy booking just goes to people kicking each other in the nuts and turning heel. So,
You ever watch Idiocracy other than Living It? Have you ever watched it?
yeah.
I always thought Ow My Balls would make a hysterical real TV show, though, where it's
Okay.
just a half hour a week of just people just getting kicked in the balls.
You can probably find a Vine compilation of that on YouTube.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But anyway,
Um,
back to your thing. I think I want Hangman to win. I feel like the Death Riders thing is just like I don't know. I honestly think it does. The Death Riders don't remind me of the Bloodline, but in my head, I'm thinking, why do we have this roster full? There's like 300 people on AEW's roster, and why do these five people just dominate the way that they do?
yeah.
And when I saw so before Hangman gave a clothesline to Marina Shafir, you had the Ops come out, kind of even the odds, and then I was kind of like immediately my head went to they're giving Hangman his like Cody Rhodes moment, and he's going to, like we're gonna see the belt in the sea of people. He's gonna win, take it out of the bottom. Ah! People put him on his shoulders, and but honestly, I if it was done right at this point, I don't really care who. Like if you tell me a good story, and if Moxley wins and it makes sense. Speaking of Sting, bro, like don't pull a Starcade 97 and do something fucking stupid. Just fundamentals here. Just don't make it extra convoluted and you know complicated. Just like if they pull
No
off,
Avril Lavigne. Why you gotta make things so complicated?
it's a great fucking album, dude. She was like what 15 when that came out or something.
I don't know. It's not the real Avril Lavigne that sings it now. That's all I know.
Oh, you think she died?
Yeah,
Interesting. I haven't
dude,
looked
we should
into
have a
that.
whole episode just on conspiracy theories. Because how was that fake?
How did Marty Jannetty get away with murder?
Yeah, how did so many wrestlers get away with murder? That's really the um you know what I was thinking though I don't know. I was thinking this too the other night when I was just lying in bed thinking about AEW on how much better this whole Death Riders thing could have been if they would have just taken out Wheeler Yuta
Hmm.
and had it be just former WWE guys taking over AEW this whole entire time. They could have been like the Death Riders. They could have been like the other guys from the other company, or I don't know. I don't like the other guys. I'm a peacock. Let me fly. But that's a. But other than that,
They can't use the outsiders.
yeah, they can't use the outsiders. But something like that. Just yeah, copy. You know, I think if they would have done that, like they wanted to do, um, or using this, doing something with the Young Bucks and having it. I don't know. There was just so many better ways to go about it, and really, we just want Keith Lee back.
Wow. You took a left turn there, didn't you?
Yeah, because that's the Death Riders are missing. They're missing a big guy. They got a strong guy. They got a big Swiss strong man, but they need a big man. And Keith
It would have been
Lee,
cool if they linked up with the Hurt Syndicate because that's like three WWE guys in one.
yeah, yeah. Um, Also, AEW dropping the ball on like I like MJF being in the Hurt Syndicate. I'm excited for I like the stuff that he's got going on right now with Mark Briscoe. I think it's hysterical talking about MJF's little pickle. And I don't know. I think Mark Briscoe and MJF are working really well together, and I really like MJF and the whole Hurt Syndicate thing. AEW really dropping the ball though by not signing Cedric Alexander yet and putting him, and maybe that will be to come. And Cedric Alexander is the one that gets MJF out of the Hurt Syndicate down the line. Um, but Cedric Alexander should be there and not feuding with Ali in TNA.
Okay. Interesting.
Um,
I'm looking at this match card, buddy.
you know who's not on this card, which annoys me,
Who?
and there's still time, I guess. Um, and we could talk about it on Wednesday night too after they have their next show. But Megan Bain should be on this card. Megan Bain should be on the top of this card.
The top of the card.
Yep, Megan Bain. Honestly, if it's up to me, the main event and the co-main event is the main event's Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné, and then the co-main event is Megan Bain and Penelope Ford.
That might be in the front of the show for me, but I
Only
respect the
because
opinion.
only because they are the two Tony Storm and Megan Bain in my mind, not just because they are attractive women, but because they have I don't know, I just think that they have the best characters right now in AEW. And
Well, if
AEW is lacking character.
so, I'm looking at the card, and it listed number one is Tony Storm and Mercedes. So they're are they going to be the last match of the night?
No, it'd be Hangman, and they'll be the second to last. But you know what? No,
But
now that I'm thinking about it, tell me to shut up, dude, because Megan Bain is totally going to be in the Casino Gauntlet.
oh, well, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
that here on the match card it's doesn't have all the participants in that because I guess they're still filling them out.
There's only so for the men's. I'm assuming like the like because they did two fatal four ways to like determine the the spot. So I'm assuming those other people will be in it. But the only people confirmed for the men so far are Mark Briscoe and MJF, and then Statlander, who won a championship last night at an indie show,
Oh, nice.
is
Congrats.
going to be the only one in the women so far.
Yeah, right here it does say those three names. Um, yeah, I think Mox and Hangman, I mean, they should end the night just because of the amount of blood that I'm expecting. It would be kind of. I'm not saying that a regular just singles match can't be as good as that, but
This is going to be a bloody match.
it's gonna be hard to if you're at a show and the first match you see is that kind of hardcore match, and then you give me a one-on-one next, I'm gonna be doing is looking at the highlights on my phone, talking to the person next to me about the last match, and I'm not gonna be paying attention
Yeah,
to the next one. And that's not because I don't care about it. It's like if you're at a football game or a baseball game, you're there to watch the game, but if the people next to you start getting in a fist fight because one of them's drunk, you're not watching the fucking game. You're watching the
you're
people beat
watching
the
a
shit
fist
out of
fight.
each other next to you.
Yeah,
Um, dude, let me ask you about this is gonna sound shocking. Who in AEW who is the biggest name in AEW that I've told you that I don't care about because I don't like the way they wrestle? Top of your head.
Mercedes.
No. Will Ospreay, bro.
Oh, that's right.
This tag match though, I'm interested in this
I'm
tag match.
confused. I'm confused by it. Like, if Swerve and Osprey win, does that mean that they're the new EVPs? Because that's stupid.
Well, I think that's well, let me look here. Uh if Osprey and Strickland lose, they cannot challenge for the AEW World Championship for 1 year. If the Young Bucks lose, they will be stripped of their EVP titles. So there's just no more EVPs, and
Um,
there's title implications for Swerve and Osprey. Now,
I
I
like that idea. I like the idea of Swerve and Osprey losing because then you gives you a full year to book their way back to the championship picture.
and it'll probably give you a year of the two of them going back and forth because they know that they can become a number one contender or whatever, and they have, I don't know.
Yeah,
But that gives us a year of those two, and I'm not mad at that. But I will say this: the Young Bucks, between the Death Riders and the evil EVPs, and then Okada's probably gonna lose his title. Um, I can see this being sort of a Young Bucks moving to a part time slash going to retire, kind of like the whole Danielson thing. And I think this is a way that you can write them off in a sense, or have them only come back for, it, I guess what we would call like a Legends spot or something like that. I don't think they'll go away for forever, and I don't think they're going to say, oh, we're retiring. But I mean, they've been wrestling for forever. AEW has a lot of new people that they can build stories around, and uh, so I don't know. That's just
you let me ask you this because you just had this idea popped in my head. Let's say AEW is still around, right? Like, let's say AEW doesn't go anywhere for years and years and years. Do you think there's a world where we ever see Kenny Omega and or the Bucks in WWE?
honestly no, and it has nothing to do with whether like Triple H would want them or not. I think WWE, the TKO thing, they would not understand, or they would not think there's a reason to invest money in these older dudes who made their name not in
Fair.
WWE when they're investing so much money into the ID and LFG and NXT. And if I was I if I was Kenny Omega or the Young Bucks or whoever, or even like Hangman Page, and I'm making AEW lasts and puts on, good shows and, it becomes like a long lasting, I would probably want to hang my hat on the fact that I was one of the guys that did that. And, you know, if
So
you if Kenny Omega were to go wrestle in a WrestleMania against, insert name here, and let's say that match was amazing, I think people would remember the WrestleMania match more than anything he did in AEW.
yeah,
Just, just because there'd be more eyeballs on it. So, I don't know, dude. I don't even know if any of that made sense.
no, it made sense. Because in my head, I keep thinking about if there's ever a possibility to see Cody back in AEW.
I could see that.
I could see that
Well,
too.
I
Not
don't know.
anytime soon,
I don't
though.
know. No. We can't even figure out Cody's heel turn.
Yeah,
No, but I don't know. I think man, if you were to tell me that in like 2021 or 2022, I'd be like, yeah, have him go over there. My dream match for the longest time was Roman Reigns and Kenny Omega, just
really.
because at one point they were the two biggest names.
Yeah, I guess that's
There
fair.
was a little gap of time where they were like the face of each company, and the styles would be so different. And I always the thing I love most about Kenny Omega is everything looks so real. And I know he himself like makes it seem so dramatic and stuff, but I just look at all the V triggers. I'm like, how's that not fucking real? And then they kick out at two every fucking time. But but then there's Roman, who's very much like I'm a camera shot guy. Like it's very choreographed and performative and made for TV. And I just thought the two of them meeting and doing that kind of like just a blend of that would be, amazing.
See, I don't know who I'd want Kenny Omega to fight in WWE. I definitely know the Young Bucks and the Usos is my is my tag team dream match.
Super kick party for sure.
Yeah, I think the Young Bucks and the Usos would put on probably the best tag match to ever happen ever. But man, Kenny Omega in WWE, I don't know who I'd want him to wrestle, and I just think
Gunther or Randy Orton.
Randy Orton would be good. In my head, I would love to see a match, a fatal four-way match, Kenny Omega, Cody, Finn Balor, and AJ Styles.
Oh yeah.
The story there writes itself.
Dude,
Um,
our kids are gonna like look at this the same way we looked at dream matches from like ECW and WWF and WCW.
oh yeah.
And who knows, they might never get them.
Yeah. But
The
all of my dream
disappoint.
matches from then always had Chris Jericho winning for some reason, which was crazy.
Well, hey, dude, that's another name that's not on this list. Is Jericho doesn't have a match.
Yeah, he's touring. He's out there trying to tour. He's touring Europe, I think, with Fozzy, but maybe they just finished because I mean, I don't know. If he I wouldn't want to be any band touring Europe right now in at the same time that Oasis is touring Europe. So,
Yeah, that's true. Maybe Tony Khan had
um
the inside scoop on Oasis touring in Europe and was like, "I'm gonna go to Texas."
well, if Tony Khan wants to give us an inside scoop on how to get some reasonable tickets for that, that'd be cool.
Oasis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'll be in
you
LA and they'll be in Chicago all before the end of the year. And I had also been in LA and I will also have been in Chicago before the end of the year, but not at the same time as Oasis. And nor would I have the money, WrestleMania ticket money to spend on Oasis tickets.
Well, speaking of, and we got just a couple minutes left, but I was actually looking at the prices for All In just to see because we've talked a lot about how WWE tickets are just
Yeah.
embarrassing. Um, Even Monday Night Raws are like not worth it. Um, you have the All In VIP package for next week in Texas. This is the big one. 1350. You get a premium floor seat within the first 5 rows. You get to keep the chair. Access to the Germania Club. I don't know what that is. Pre-show appearances by AEW stars. Ringside photos with the title belts before the show starts. AEW VIP credential. Complimentary seat to the July 11th Ring of Honor. Um, Premium merch pack, VIP concierge rep, dedicated early entrance, crowd free shopping, and a superstore fast pass.
Honestly,
That's a
that
great
seems
fucking deal.
so much more worth it than WrestleMania.
That I mean, and but that's the whole package. That's not even it's not like the ticket is 1350.
Yeah, that's,
That's
I mean, that
everything that
is
comes
less
with it.
money than we paid for WrestleMania, and this will be a better show than WrestleMania.
If you're a diehard wrestling fan, I think you would enjoy this show more. I
Yeah,
honestly do. And I'm happy to say that about AEW because they just posted something some graphic I think Tony posted on Instagram or whatever, but it's just showing the viewership growing
yeah,
and it's a good
and
feeling.
and they have Starcast across the street
Come on.
with all the legends,
We need to do
and if we didn't even need to take a smelly tram to get there.
we need to make sure we do like some kind of if ticket prices are this good for the biggest show of the year, then when they do Double or Nothing or Revolution, in our neck of the woods, the Southwest, I said we go for it, buddy.
I say, you know what? That might be the move outside of WrestleMania this year.
Oh, we're well, yeah, but I got to get that booth at WrestleCon.
Yeah, I know that's true.
I got to
Damn,
sit next to those Steiner brothers at Victoria.
that's that's where you
Just
want to
talk
be
to
next
them
to the
all day.
next to the Steiners.
Well, that's where the Scoop Slam Radio guys were. So
I guess that's true.
maybe we'll get Godfather and Ahmed Johnson,
Yeah.
both friends of the podcast.
I'd like to be next to, I don't know, who had the longest line. I want to put me next to the Dudleys.
Put me next to Devon and Dan Spivey,
Yeah.
in between Gangrel and Mike Chioda. That's what we should ask people. Say, okay, you're on a plane, 3 seats in a row, you're in the middle. What two wrestlers or wrestling personalities would you want to be next to? You're in a
Ooh.
wrestler sandwich, 30,000 feet in the air.
Am I married?
Mm, yes. I'm not
Oh.
going to let you take the easy way out.
Um, then, probably because I was gonna say if I'm not married, definitely Mae Young.
Mm.
But
Now,
maybe not now, but like 12, 13 years ago.
oh,
Um,
I'm picking Hornswoggle and Rey Mysterio because I'm a big guy. I need the leg room.
yeah, I guess that's fair. Oh, I don't know. I have to ponder on that one. It
We'll
might
come
have to be
back
how
to
we
it
start
next
off the next
episode.
episode. Yeah.
We'll come back to it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for today. Don't forget that I will be at Dream Slam with the banner tomorrow. And also next week, dude, all in. It's like the second biggest wrestling show of the year. No?
Yeah. I
No?
think on
Maybe?
Monday, I think on Monday we have to break down the WWE shows, and then we go all in on All In next Wednesday.
That's true. We have a lot of shit to do, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. The Zoom's going to kick me out. We'll see you later.
Later.